Hey there guys. So originally with this video I was going to aim it more towards mums and dads that obviously have kids, and the difficulties associated with trying to manage training time. However, the more I thought about it, the more relevant it is to the majority of people, but more so, as I said, mums and dads. So one of the worst pieces of advice I was ever given ages and ages ago was trying to get everything done in one session. The more I've trained, and obviously, I got two kids of my own as well. The more I've realized it just becomes very unrealistic and it doesn't necessarily reflect or give you a better goal at the end of the day. So what I mean by that is, instead of trying to train for an hour and a half, breaking your training sessions up into 15, 20-minute blocks makes a very, very big difference. And for the majority of parents, they're not going to have an hour and a half, 4 or 5 times a week to just go and train. You've got other commitments in your life. And just looking after kids as a whole, it just takes a lot of time. For the busy, individual office worker, career-minded individual, someone else who's just, at uni and just stuck with a whole lot of assignments and then trying to work part-time and juggle a social life, it can be quite difficult. So for me, I typically break my training sessions up as much as I can when I'm stuck for time. Things of late have changed a little bit, but I'll bring it back to say Tuesday. Tuesday for me is pretty much a write-off in terms of trying to have a set, time to train. So what I try and do, I try and break everything up into smaller portions. So Tuesday is a lighter training day. I've got squats, for example. I'll try and do my 4 sets of 10. I'll just warm up and, hit the 4 sets of 10 and that's it. And then I'll come back later on and then I'll do my pull-ups. Then, when I've got another break, I might do the barbell curls and hammer curls. I try and break everything up. You don't have to spend, all the time, doing just one big training session. It can be a pretty big time drainer. A lot of people, first thing in the morning, they may not, want to train for an hour, but doing 15, 20 minutes in the morning doesn't seem like a nightmare to do. So if you're doing the 15 or 20 minutes in the morning, just, get one of the compound movements done. You'll feel more productive, going into work or doing whatever. It also sets you up well for the day. You've already trained, you've got part of your workout done. And then, when you come home, just trying to get through the light assistant exercises does not feel daunting. You might train again for 15, 20 minutes and then, get dinner, get everything else sorted. And then at the end of the day, once the kids are in bed and the rest of it, you got another 15, 20 minutes and you just might, finish off doing the abs or the curls or whatever else you missed. It becomes very, very manageable that way. You'll also notice the quality of your training will generally improve because now that you're splitting it up throughout the day, you have more energy for each thing. And it's not as if, you've gone from squats into pull-ups, which, can leave you a little bit spent. Training back and legs plus arms, it can be quite taxing, but breaking it up into 3 different segments also gives you, time to clear the lactic acid. Research can be a little bit conflicting, but for me, after 2-3 hours, it feels like I haven't really trained in terms of fatigue. And if I wanted to do, say, back squats and front squats, and I gave myself a 2-3 hour break, whatever I had to do next obviously feels a lot better as well. You've had time to rest, recover, get a bit more carbs into the system, and obviously clear the vast majority, if not all, that lactic acid. And then, trying to always have set training days as well. Some people can do it, some people can't. I'm fortunate that I can always train bench on a Monday and squat on a Friday, because Monday I'm coaching a whole lot of people and I'm doing bench anyway, and Friday is like a group session and I'm coaching everyone for squats. So I'm fortunate that, I squat on those days as well. The rest of the week for me, it can be everywhere. Sometimes my Tuesday session gets pushed out to a Wednesday. Sometimes I've got to do part of the Thursday on a Friday morning. And then sometimes, if that happens, whatever I didn't get done on the Friday evening, I just push out till Saturday. Just trying to train twice a week for each exercise also makes a big difference. It doesn't have to be heavy both times. Definitely don't take that approach, for me at least. a lot of the athletes I've coached, it just doesn't work very well. But having one set day where you can go heavy, try and do that. Most people, even if they got a busy schedule, they're going to find one day a week where they can put away, an hour and a half. If you can do that for your heavy stuff, the rest of the week, just scatter your assistant exercises here and there. Just make sure, the day that you're going heavy, let's say heavy day is a Friday, Thursday, don't train anything that's going to conflict with Friday, or better yet, just have Thursday as a rest day, or do, very light cardio. And the rest of the week, Wednesday onwards, even through to basically the Saturday the week before, just do what you need, just scatter the assistant exercises. There's nothing set in stone as well. Like, a lot of people will try and sell you a program that's very rigid and fixed. I've explained to a few of the, individuals that I coach, and even a few of the online clients, if you need to have, a little bit more recovery time, and, you're finding certain sessions too taxing, break it up, or just make the exercise workload, scale it back. Doing something light is better than doing nothing at all, especially also if you're stuck for time. You might find, supersetting is a great way of getting a whole lot of volume in. Just be careful with what you superset. Like, for me, I can't superset squats and then say pull-ups, for example, because two big compound movements and I just run out of energy. But I could, for example, superset, squats and do something completely different, like barbell bicep curls or hammer curls. It doesn't conflict with my squat at all. Biceps really do not chew up much energy compared to a squat. And the little amount of lactic acid they do produce is nothing in terms of like total system lactic acid that squats do. Bearing in mind, like, if you're going to take that approach, deadlifts then supersetting with biceps, not the best idea, just because of how you're going to hold the bar. Forearms and grip are going to give out, but try and play it smart with what you need to do. You might find deadlifts and then doing something like tricep extensions works quite well for you. Or then, when it comes to shoulders, shoulders, if you're training lighter legs, throwing in leg extensions and then superset with, hamstring curls is another great way of just getting through 3 exercises, getting your work volume up, still having a really productive session. And when I say go straight from one exercise to the other, normally for me, I give myself a minute's break. So if I was doing, overhead press, I'd give myself then a minute's break. Do the leg extensions, give myself a minute break. Do the leg curls, give myself a minute break. And then more or less either have, go back straight into the shoulders again after the minute break, or give myself an additional 1 to 2 minutes and then back into it. You're going to keep your heart rate up anyway. You're going to find getting a whole lot more training into a 20-minute block is really achievable. And for the vast majority of people, they just want to stay in shape. There's a lot of you that are just looking to stay in shape. You've got kids. You're not trying to be an elite level lifter. For you guys, working on your fitness in terms of supersetting things like that is going to go a very, very long way. And it's also just going to compact your training time into something that's really, really manageable. Having 2 20-minute sessions, one in the morning and one in the evening, and structuring it well, doing your supersets, you're going to get a really good full body workout done over 2-3 days. And you'll see some really good results. You're never going to push the elite numbers, but then again, like, having kids and running around looking after them chews a whole lot of energy, and chances are your priorities change. One of the things that I struggle then, coming back to time management or just life in general, if I do heavy squats, I haven't recovered, my lower back's cooked, it makes everything else looking after kids just a nightmare. So like, for me, when it comes to time management, again, you might pick one big comp that you want to do a year. You might put away 12 weeks where you can train a lot more structured, get that done. The rest of the time, that other 9 months, train because you enjoy it, do a few other things. Training doesn't have to be the be all and end all, but just, getting training in, staying fit, staying healthier, you're going to find, mentally you're so much happier. Your social life's going to be a lot better. Being really, really rigid as well can be really quite frustrating, as opposed to having the flexibility of going, we got a family dinner this night, I'm meant to train, I'm just going to push everything out by one day. And this is another thing that a lot of people fail to realize. You don't have to stick to a 7-day-a-week like training block. If you want to make your training block 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, whatever, that can work really well. It's up to you how you want to structure it. 7 days means nothing in terms of training and how you want to structure a program. It's just pretty much an arbitrary number of days, and you're trying to make a program fit into it. Try and look at it the other way. Structure a training program that you're happy with. You might do squats, wait 3-4 days, front squats, wait 3-4 days, deadlifts, and you've scattered other upper body things in amongst it. Trying to get that to fit into a Monday to Sunday, it's not going to happen. But if you can go, this is my training program, and it's 10 days long. I get to day 10, and then I start back at day 1, and you've put, adequate rest days in between. That can work really, really well. You're going to have some weekends where you're going to have more time, and, some of your other sessions are going to fall during a weekday, so you're going to have to make your time management a little better. Just play around with that concept. 7 days for a training program is not always ideal, and for a lot of people it just doesn't work very well. If you tried structuring a strongman program into 7 days, you got too many events. Good luck with that one. So some people do it, I'm not in the position to do it. I have other factors, as I've said, in life, other priorities and goals to achieve. So that's just my, perspective on things. Take it for what you will. Agree with it, disagree with it, like to hear below, just comment. If you guys have any other questions, relating to training and time management, just drop it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you guys haven't already, hit like and subscribe, and have a great day wherever you are.